Hello children, in this video we are going to discuss with or we are going to continue with lesson 5 traders to rulers. In the first video we discussed about the trading companies. The many trading companies, they came to India, they made factories in India, they made trade settlements in India, especially the English people. The first English factory in India were set up at Masulipatanam and Surat in the early 17th century, and later the English East India Company needed well-trained army to protect and expand its Indian trade settlements. They made many factories and trade settlements in India. For protecting these trade settlements or factories, they need a well-equipped army. So, around the mid 18th century, the company raised an army at Madras by training a mixed band of European and Indian soldiers. In the military, in the army, Englishes also were there as well as the Indians also were there. And Indian soldiers in company army were called sepoys. Okay, so in this video, we are going to discuss about the trading company to political power. I told you the Englishers mainly many people they came, the Portuguese people, the French, the English. So first they came as traders. Slowly they started to capture more places in India. Okay, from trading company to political power. With the French out of the way and a well-trained army of their disposal, the British rapidly transformed into political power in India. I told you they had a large army. And they started to capture some areas in India. Okay, first they captured. The first step toward British political supremacy was their conquest of Bengal. First in India, they captured Bengal and foundation of Calcutta. In Bengal, the English East India Company established its first trade settlements Hooghly around 1651. In Bengal, the East India Company established first trade settlements at Hooghly, and their trade flourished here, but when it violated trade rules, Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb turned hostile, declared war on the company and defeated its forces. Later, Aurangzeb permitted the company to trade duty-free in return for an annual payment. They slowly, they start to violate trading rules. So the Mughal emperor on those days, Aurangzeb was the Mughal emperor. So Mughal emperor turned hostile with the company, and Aurangzeb he declared war on the company and defeated its forces. But later Aurangzeb gave permission to the company to trade duty free. Okay, and return the company they were agreed with give an annual payment to the Sultan. And in 1690, Job Charnock established an English factory at a place called Sutanuti. The factory was later fortified to protect it from local revolts and attacks and named Fort William. Soon after, this company was granted the Semindari. Semindari means right to collect revenue. The Govindapur and Kolkata, they fortified settlements of Fort William along the three villages later came to be called Calcutta. In 1690, Job Charnock, he established a factory in Sutanuti, and the factory was later fortified to protect it from local revolts and attack. Later, the factory was protected from local revolts. They fortified. Okay, and next we can see that the conflict between the company and the Nawab of Bengal. Conflict between the company and Nawab of Bengal. Bengal was the first place they conquered in India. Trade in Bengal fetched enormous profit for the company as goods from Bengal formed much of the English imports from Asia. The company had the right to duty free trade, but the company's servants misused this right. They carried an illegal private trade. Through the trade, the company, the British, they got a huge amount as profit, and the company they had the right to duty free trade, but at the same time the servants of the company, they started to misuse this right, and they didn't pay trade duties. and this caused a heavy loss of revenue to the Nawab of Bengal, who grew hostile to the company. Slowly, they stopped to give duty to the Nawab. This issue or this incident grew hostile to the company. Till the mid 18th century, Nawab Murshid Qali Khan and Nawab Alivardi Khan of Bengal kept strict control over the European traders and resisted the fortification of European trade settlements. 19th century, mid 19th century, Murshid Qali Khan and Nawab Alivardi Khan of Bengal. These two people, they were the Nawab of Bengal, and they strictly control European traders because they start to fortify the European trade settlements. And Siraj Dowlah succeeded Alivardi Khan and Nawab in 1756. He drove the English out of Calcutta for expanding fortification against his orders and misusing trade rights. But Robert Clive soon took charge of the company's forces in Bengal and restored the company's earlier position and trade privileges by treacherous means. Slowly, the English company, they started to violate the trading rules. The Nawab tried to control it, but slowly, Nawab become powerless. Okay, and next we can see that the Battle of Plassey. First one, we can see the Battle of Plassey. Clive bribed some of the important members of Siraj court, including the General Mir Jafar. Clive's intrigues ultimately led to a Battle of Plassey. Mir Jafar withdrew his troops from the battlefield. Siraj was defeated and killed. So here we can see that the company made Mir Jafar the new ruler in return for a large sum of money and the semindari of 24 parganas of Bengal and rights to free trade. And the victory of Plassey transformed the company from mere trading institution to a political force in Bengal. After the victory of Plassey, they become the powerful people in India. It also exposes the weakness of Indian political system and began the process of British colonization in India. After the Battle of Plassey, the English East India Company or the British people, they started colonization in India. Mir Jafar failed to meet the company's heavy monetary demands. Mir Jafar, he was not ready to or give the heavy monetary demands. So in 1760, the company deposed Mir Jafar and made his son-in-law Mir Qasim the Nawab of Bengal. Mir Qasim gave the company to Semindari of Burdwan and Midnapur and Chittagong. Mir Jafar, he failed to give heavy monetary demands. So the company deposed Mir Jafar and Mir Qasim became the next Nawab of Bengal. So these are the incidents that happened after the Battle of Plassey. Okay. So once again I will summarize what we have learned in this lesson from trading company to political power. So here we are discussing about the growth of English East India Company in India. The beginning they came as traders, but slowly they started to conquer the places in India. First place they conquered or they captured, that is Bengal, and in Bengal the English India Company established the first trade settlements at Hooghly, and trade flourished. Slowly trade flourished, and trade in Bengal fetched enormous profit for the company as goods from Bengal form much of the English import from Asia. Slowly or mid the 18th century, Nawab Murshid Qali Khan and Nawab Alivardi Khan, Bengal kept strict control over the European traders because they slowly start to violate the rights what they had given or what they got by the Nawabs. Okay.